And now this is the fight that everybody wants to see. And now we're going to get it. And it's for $1 million on top of what they normally get for a purse. So there's a lot of money riding on the line for these kids. And I'm really looking forward to it because AJ is a guy, honestly, I walked into a rec center and he was fighting an amateur fight and he was the main event. And it was his father and Rampage Jackson there coaching him. And we had a chat after, and I said, I really like this kid. I'm gonna sign this guy when I eventually decide where I was gonna go when he turns pro. So we signed him, and we built him up over the last 5-6 years. Now he's ready to go, right? So it's gonna be a great fight. This is gonna be a fight that the fans really wanted to see.
Totally agree. And just two quick ones from me. Time frame for that? Both guys had quick fights to get them into the final. You think we're just going to try to turn this around as quick as possible?
Yeah, I was talking to his manager before we broke here, and I said, what are you thinking? And he said, probably June or July. So this fight will happen in the summertime for sure. This featherweight tournament has been going on for a while, as you know, because of COVID. But it'll be such a great fight, and we're gonna promote the heck out of it because this is a matchup that's going to be unbelievable.
And right before the event started, there was some news that came out that Mike Goldberg is no longer with Bellator. Was there? Can you just kind of give me your thoughts on his tenure with the promotion and his departure?
Yeah, listen, Mike is he's a friend, and he is he's been the voice of MMA for such a long time, along with Mauro. Mauro, he's been around Pride with Boss Rutan, and this is way back. This is 97, 98, 99. So. At one time we had the two best in the planet, and it was a production decision, and they decided to move forward, and that's where it's at. But you know what? This is the kind of business that you never know. Like if there's boxing on one side and Mauro's doing, who knows what will happen in the future? But that's the way that it rolled out.
And tonight, Usman Nurmagomedov had an awesome fight, great debut. He said after that, his hope is to be the Khabib of Bellator. Does that excite you to hear that out of him?
Yeah, listen, what I saw was a 22-year-old kid, has a lot of skill, can kick from either leg, either side, has some good punching, and he's going to be a kid that's going to be hard to keep down. And I heard he can wrestle as well. He didn't wrestle he didn't wrestle a lot in this fight. But I'm looking forward to seeing how he develops. And, when he has training partners, like his, like Khabib and his other cousins and friends, and they what it is? It's like, I've seen it happen because I was with AKA from the very beginning when they started, doing MMA. And when I say with him, I wasn't, part of the gym as far as like, being a trainer or an owner. Javier Mendez owned the gym, but I saw Frank Shabamar come in, and I saw Josh Thompson come in, and Mike Swick and Kung Lee, and then before you know it, all these killers were there. Cain Velasquez, Daniel Cormier, and then all of a sudden this gym just started becoming like a fight factory because they just push each other. And so I'm telling you, this kid's just going to get better and better. I'm really excited to see what we can do with him for the next 2 or 3 years.
And, you guys had the rankings come out last week. Was there anything that surprised you, A? And B, how much, as a fan, is it going to help with seeing that, 4 and 5 next to people's names when they're watching?
Yeah, you know what? That's the reason why we did it is, we wanted to make sure that the fans could look at our rankings and, very simply say, okay, who are the fights that maybe we want to see as a fan? And again, these rankings are not done by us as a company. It's done by the reporters. There's 17 of them around the world that contribute to these rankings. And I'm really excited because it's going to make it a lot easier to figure out, who's going to fight who. And of course, some people are upset. But what I'm really excited about is what will these rankings look like when we get the fighters that haven't fought for us yet in here? Like Usman, this is his first fight. Now he'll probably go on the rankings at a certain point. Rumble Johnson, Yoel Romero. There's a lot of great fighters that have not fought that once we get them in here, it'll start moving our rankings around. I'm really excited about that.
Scott, after such a great event tonight, I'm curious, for those that may have missed it, what fight would you go tell them to watch tonight outside the main event and why?
I'll tell you, there were so many great fights and there were so many tactical fights that that's a tough one because like if you're a jiu-jitsu fighter or jiu-jitsu stylist and you really like Neiman Gracie, that fight with Jackson I thought was a great matchup, and that fight could have went either way, and it worked out for him. But I think Neiman will come back. But I think to me, that was one of my favorite fights to watch, because it's a striker versus a grappler. It's like age-old combat, right? Back to when this may all began. Like, who could beat the striker? Is it a grappler? Is it a wrestler? And so that question was answered tonight, and it went Jackson's way.
So we're seeing 2021 seems to be the year where live sports are coming back. I'm just curious, does Bellator have any plans for 2021 that they can share with us?
I'll tell you, we are looking forward to the day that we can walk into, a stadium and have a packed audience and not have to have social distancing and wear masks and do all the things that we're doing now. But we're going to be very careful about that. And, we are governed by a COVID protocol, division, basically, that has a lot of doctors, has a lot of lawyers, and really we have to do, health and safety first. So that's going to come first. But I was just reading in California, even, listen, I live in Santa Clara County. It's probably the most stringent county in the whole country at one time. They even had the 49ers had to move to Arizona to play football. Think about that. They couldn't practice outside. They couldn't play outside. And so, when Santa Clara is opening up like it is now, it gives me hope, and I can see light at the end of the tunnel now. And so I think we're going to be patient. We're going to be here for at least a couple months, and then we'll reevaluate. But I don't think it's that far off, to be honest. We're already making, and I can't talk about it, so please don't ask, because we're already making plans about some international fights we're going to put together. And I'm really excited about late summer and going into the fall.
Last quick one for me. I saw you octagon side, sat next to Habib and Ali Abdelaziz. It looked like you're having a great conversation, lots of laughter, very animated. Any of that conversation you can share with us?
I tell you, it's you have to remember that these, like, Ali manages a lot of fighters, but I've known him, I want to say, like 20 years. I've known him for 20 years, even when he was fighting before. And when I was working for K1, his cousin Karam Abdulaziz was a Egyptian gold medalist wrestler from Olympics, and we took him to Japan, and he fought in an event that K1 was involved with, and I helped. And it didn't work out for his cousin, but that's when I first started meeting Ali and talking to him, and I didn't see him for like 10 years, and he's become this very powerful manager, has a lot of great fighters. But we go back way before he was still competing at the time. So to me, he's a great old friend. Khabib, honestly, it's like, I'm not sure if you saw Javier Mendez there, but Javier is, I used to promote Javier's fights in San Jose back in the 80s, honestly. And he was one of my students before in traditional karate. And, he's been like a brother for me. So, he trains Khabib, and he trains Usman now. He's part of that whole team. And I haven't seen him for about a year because he's been in Abu Dhabi, or he was with Khabib for the fight. And he's been training in Vegas. So I haven't seen him. So it was like a little reunion, and I would see Khabib in San Jose training from time to time. And so it was just like a little reunion. That's what you saw. But, it was a good time. Mm-hmm.
Congrats on the event.
Thank you.
The ass-kicking machine had a pretty impressive performance tonight against Neiman Gracie. He was calling for a title shot or anybody who's standing in his way. Is that a strong possibility?
I think it's a possibility. Again, I like to go back on Monday and reshuffle the deck, so to speak. But he's definitely up there. I think that we have somebody else in mind right now, and we'll probably announce something really soon. But maybe right after that we can have that conversation with him. But he's right in there for the title mix, because Neiman, I think, was ranked number 2, and so he definitely deserves a shot. Pending our other fight we're putting together.
Awesome. And the last thing for me, I also had a very similar question. There was a lot of amazing fights tonight, a lot of fighters that broke out of the woodworks. Is there anybody outside of the main event that really impressed you tonight?
Yes, there was. There was a fight on the undercard. The gentleman that fought Gonzalez, that fought Roger Huerta. I thought he did a really good job, and I know he has a good wrestling background. So we're excited to see what we can develop with him as well.
All right, we have time for 1 or 2 more here. Jim?
Yeah, thank you, Scott. You all announced Cyborg Smith 2, and I'm just curious your thoughts on that. And how long did that take to put that together? Was that the thought just going forward, hey, this is the match we want to make, or were there other options?
You know, I mean, to me, we looked at a couple actually opponents for Cyborg, but you know, Gilbert Melendez, her trainer now, kept calling me and wanting this fight and said, look, last fight, she took it on short notice. She wasn't ready. She wasn't prepared. She feels that she deserves the title. And I'm training her. She's going to be, you know, solid. She's going to look great and she's going to put up a great fight. So, you know, that's really how it came down. So, you know, Gilbert and I talked about it and we made the fight.
Thank you.
Giancarlo.
Hi, Scott. Great event tonight. Just curious, it was available for Canadian fans as well here on YouTube. Just wondering if that's a plan going forward or if there's a TV deal you have in the works that you can share.
You know, I know there's dialogue right now ongoing about where in Canada we're going to finally end up. But in the meantime, I do believe that for the fans to be able to see Bellator even next weekend, that we will open up the portal on YouTube, I believe, for Canada to receive it. So I think that is the plan moving forward.
All right, last one here, Santiago.
Hi, Scott. Greetings from Amsterdam and congratulations on a beautiful night of fights. I have a question about two of your fighters coming out of Amsterdam. Can you give us an update about Gegard Mousasi and Denise Kielholtz?
You know, both of those fighters have matchups already, but we're not going to ready to announce them. So we're gonna have to hold back on that. But we do have some exciting fights. I love both those fighters. Gegard is, you know, I started promoting him back when in Strikeforce, so he has a very special place in my heart. Denise is another, you know, buzzsaw. She is amazing, and so they will be fighting soon. We'll have an announcement soon. I would say in the next week or two. We're just locking some things up, but be patient, and I promise you'll be happy with these fights that these fighters will be in.
All right, thanks, Scott.
Thank you.